Good evening everyone and welcome to the channel. Please feel free to like, comment and subscribe to this and all future content. On today's video we shall be discussing as to whether or not this bike I'm currently on, my 2007 Ducati 1098S, is a suitable everyday bike. So let's get into it. As a lot of you guys may know, I've had this bike for nigh on 3 years. Is it a good everyday bike? Could you commute on it? Could you go long distance on it? Could you take it for a road trip around France or Portugal or Spain? Could you use it as an everyday workhorse? All these questions and more we shall cover and answer. I've had this bike for 3 years. 3 years. I've had it since June 2016, and I would be wrong if I said I hated it, because I don't. What I will say is, in comparison to other bikes I've ridden, it's not the easiest bike to live with. She is quite temperamental, but then again, what Italian bike isn't? And that's not me dissing Ducati, it's just a general thing with all Italian bikes. Could be an Aprilia, could be a Moto Guzzi, could be an MV Agusta. It makes absolutely no fucking difference. They all have their niche type things, their idiosyncrasies, their particular way of doing things. And for me, this bike is the epitome of what I'm about. It's everything I love. It's got the noise, it's got the road presence, a bit like this E-Type Jag in front of me here, which is a rather good looking specimen, I must say. I'm not really a car person, but I'll give respect where it's due. Very nice indeed. But back to the topic. A 1098, after all, is a race bike. And if I was to say to you, you know, it's an everyday bike, it can do everything like a Yamaha Phaser or a Suzuki Bandit or whatever can do, then I'd be lying, because it can't. You couldn't load this up with panniers and a top box and take it for a road trip around Europe. However, with a decent set of luggage on this, you know, like a tank bag and possibly some like the Krieger tail bag and a rucksack, you know, anything could be possible. Anything could be possible. But again, it's all down to how far you're willing to push your bike. I'd just like to point out that at some point I would like to take this on track once I know everything is absolutely hunky-dory, you know, general maintenance wise and, you know, consumables wise, tyres, etc, etc. But yeah, once all that sort of stuff is taken care of, like I know this needs new pads, I know it needs a new chain sprocket. Once all that's been taken care of and I know I've got a good set of tyres on her, I'll be more than happy to try and take her on a track day. But like I said, that won't be just yet. I also want to get the suspension set up for me, and once that's done, we shall be good to go. With all that being said, ouch, manhole cover, testicles, never a good combination. I will always say street first, track second, only because I know that if I was to bin this on the track, my time on this bike will be fucking over. Hence why I need everything to be just so before I take her on track. But anyway, I digress. As an everyday street bike, could it work? Possibly. Do I make it work? Yes, I do. Could someone else make it work? Probably. As a colleague at my work said today, when he sat on my bike when I went to visit them, they were like, "Oh, seat's hard." I said, "Yeah, it's a race bike. It is literally a race bike with some headlights, indicators and mirrors. It's not designed to be comfortable, it's designed for performance. He was like, yeah, I suppose so. I said, well, there you go then. It's not going to be comfortable. But a lot of people do say to me, well, with all the Ducatis I've owned, it's like, don't your wrists hurt? Doesn't your back hurt? I'm like, no. They're like, you sure? I'm like, yeah. They're like, surely that must hurt. No, it's only going to hurt if you're not used to it, and because I'm used to it, it doesn't hurt. It should hurt, for all intents and purposes, it should hurt like fucking hell, but because I'm so used to it and I'm used to the riding position, etc, etc, it doesn't hurt at all. Well, it doesn't hurt me anyway. Some people might turn around and say, oh, I can't ride in that position, it hurts my back, or it hurts my wrists, or it hurts my shoulders. Yeah, it will do. It's a fucking sports bike. I don't know how many times I can say it. But there are things that you can do to make it a more comfortable ride for you. It's like you can get a thicker padded seat. You can get bar raisers. You can get quick action throttle, so you don't have to put so much pressure through your right wrist. You could get an aftermarket slave cylinder or an aftermarket master cylinder for the clutch, so that you don't end up getting arm pump or cramp or anything like that, because getting cramp on one of these is not pleasant, and I know that from personal experience because I've done it. But anyway, once you got the bike set to how you want it, like I say, it doesn't have to be this bike, it could be well, it could be any sports bike really. You know, sports bikes can be comfortable, and like I said, I'm talking from experience. I've ridden and owned 5 different types of Ducatis. Good evening, sir. Granted, 3 of them were the same sort of generation, the 2 848s and this. Other Ducatis I've owned, the 2 748s, were in an even more aggressive riding position compared to this. Now I'm talking seriously aggressive. Bearing in mind, these bikes, the 2 748s especially, were from the late 90s, like 98, 99. This and the 2 848s were between 2007 and 2012. You know, you have to take into account technology from back then, so almost 20 years ago, well, 20 years plus, wasn't designed for street riding. They were more hardcore than what this is. Now granted, people might turn around and say, oh, you don't need to be riding an 1100cc V-twin in London, you don't need to be doing this, you don't need to be doing that, yada yada yada. But you do what you want to do, hence why I am on this and enjoying life. I love this bike. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but then again, it's not the most uncomfortable either. In all fairness, I don't think it's a bad bike as an all-rounder. Like I said, I wouldn't personally take it touring. Coastal runs and stuff like that, yeah, fine. That'd be fine, because obviously it's not just constant fast roads, there's slow roads and A roads, B roads, side roads, country lanes, that sort of thing. So you actually get to put the bike through its paces, which is always nice. However, you couldn't be expected to put a bike like this through its paces in central London, because it's like this, for example, the traffic just fucking everywhere. You can't be expected to ride a bike to its potential in a built-up area. It's just not going to work for you. However, providing you are sensible and you've got the experience, you can do pretty much whatever you want, like this. Now normally I wouldn't have done that, but my arse is going numb, so I had to. It's like, there's so many hazards in London you need to be aware of. For example, I can hear an ambulance before I can see it. Well, I can hear sirens somewhere. So, I mean, I'm surprised this will never pass number 2 with its current cans on. Oh, it's an ambulam. Ambulam. But anyway, back to the topic. I think it's not designed to be an everyday bike. It's not designed to be ridden in everyday situations. It's not designed to be in stop-start traffic. It's not designed to deal with the shit that it does. But I wouldn't change her for the world. Yeah, she gets hot. Yeah, she gets angry. Yeah, she may occasionally stall on me. But I love her. Gets a fair amount of attention when she's either parked up or when she's out. See, I don't know if you saw that, but those two stand on the island were eyeballing me the whole entire time. Not that I give a shit, mind you, but the attention is always nice. In the right manner of things, of course. But yeah, I mean, people must think I'm mad riding a bike like this in everyday situations and the occasional ride to work and so on. But in all fairness, I don't actually care. I will ride this wherever I see fit. I will ride my bike my way. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I will ride my bike the way I want to ride. You get dickheads like that who want to get in the way. Oh, but it's like things like that, just that little bit of acceleration that just brings the front wheel in the air just a tiny bit. You know, so shit like that just puts a smile on my face every time I get on this thing. You know, just listen to it bumping away underneath me. You know, like listen. Just that alone makes it worthwhile. I could quite easily sit here and listen to that all day. And it's like, oh, absolute fucking bliss. And I'm not going to lie, riding in central London is not ideal for a bike of this sort of calibre. But there's people riding these bikes in the UK on these streets day in day out, week after week, and still enjoying life. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is Streatham High Road, and this will be a good example of why this bike would not be good in a built up area as a commuter bike, but will also demonstrate that how agile this bike can be when it needs to be. Excuse me. It's not for everyone. You know, sports bikes might not be for everyone in particular. It might not, you know, Ducatis might not be for anyone who watches my videos. It might not be anyone that I know. I'm not going to turn around and say to people, oh no, don't try one, because until you try one, you'll never know. Of all the bikes that I've ridden and all the bikes that I've owned, I'd probably say that this bike is probably the most fun bike I've owned, purely for the simple fact that this thing's got a shit ton of torque. And yes, it can and usually does get me into trouble, but at the same time, you can't blame me. Owning a bike like this just puts a smile on my face every fucking time. Oh, you're having a fucking giggle, right? There you go, that's an example. Granted, I did have to put my foot down, but I didn't stall it, I didn't drop it. I was able to slow down, get the positioning done, and we're good to go. I suppose, in a nutshell, I can't say exactly yes that this bike could be good as an everyday bike and as an all-rounder, because it's not, but it could be an all-rounder for the right person. I suppose we'll have to be slightly diplomatic about that, I guess. So, to be brutally honest, no, it's not an everyday bike, but it could be an everyday bike for the right person, which is basically this in a nutshell for me. Like I say to people, I love my bike and I wouldn't change it for the world. If I could just get rid of this fucking persistent stalling bollocks that it does, for me this bike would be perfect, absolutely perfect. You know, we can't have everything, can we, these days? You know, there has to be some sort of compromise. I want a bike that's all singing, all dancing, but there has to be a compromise somewhere, and that compromise is the relatively high maintenance and the I suppose unique qualities that this bike has. On a scale of 1 to 10, if this is an everyday bike, 10 being a definite yes, 0 being a definite no, I would have to say this is probably about a 5. It's not an everyday bike for the everyday commuter, but it could be an everyday bike for the right sort of rider. As I recap, you don't have to be a superbike rider to own a superbike. You don't have to be like a Marquez wannabe, or a Rossi wannabe, or a Jonathan Ray wannabe, or a Troy Bayliss wannabe. You just have to know how to use your brain. Because with a bike of this age, you don't have traction control, you don't have wheelie control. What you've got is your 2 hands and your 2 feet, and that is your traction control, your wheelie control, and your stopping control, all in those 4 elements. And if you can't control your own hands and feet, then controlling a bike like this is virtually impossible for you. But on the whole, in my honest opinion, like I said, this bike could be an everyday bike for the right person. Not necessarily a learner, well, definitely not a fucking learner, I can tell you that straight away. More experienced rider, definitely. A track day rider, yeah, most likely. A long distance commuter, i.e. a tourer, if I'm honest, probably not. Although I have known people do touring on bikes like this. But yeah, I would say as a recap, it's a 50-50. Like I said, it could be the right bike for the right person. But ladies and gentlemen, on that timely bombshell, we shall call it a day. Enjoy the rest of your week, enjoy life, enjoy riding, enjoy your bikes, enjoy your family, your friends. Good life and health to you all, and I will catch you on the next one. So for now, adios.